Hey, lovely individuals! I want to talk to you about the crypto market, Bitcoin and XRP. Brad Garlinghouse just said 1,000%. What does that mean? And are we in for a golden market? You'll soon know what that means. I implore you to wait. Please wait. Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Before I ask questions, it's Monday, and you know what we do on Mondays. This is your weekly reminder that putting money into crypto is dangerous. You could lose all of your money if someone pulls a rug, goes bankrupt, hacks your wallet, hacks your smart contract, or if a Schlitcoin goes to zero. Don't put money into something you can't afford to lose. Very, very important. Of course, this isn't financial advice. Before you invest, always do your own research. We have a very fascinating week ahead of us, everyone. This isn't the sexiest week. You know, certain weeks, you have CPI, the Fed meeting, and all sorts of other things like that. This week, not as sexy, but there are a number of things that might change what's going on. The most important thing is El Presidente, Mr. Donald Trump, and the trade treaties. During the week, we'll talk about that in more detail, and there will be a lot to talk about. So all I want from you is a beautiful grin to send out the wonderful vibrations. Smash that like button, Smish. Thanks a lot, and let's get started. XRP is now at $2.18, which is down 0.86% from yesterday, which is what happens on Sunday Fun Day. We had a little bit of a run-up here, and XRP went all the way up to $2.22. But then the sell-off on Monday night or early morning began. If you've been watching the channel for a while, you probably saw this coming. This happens a lot, as on Sunday when we say, "Oh, it's going to the moon." Is that right? And then we see pullbacks. I tell you about this every week. You can also see that Bitcoin went from $1 to $8,750 and then back down to $1 to $7,633. There were other things that went up a lot over that 2-hour period, including Pepe and others. They went up 12%, 8%, and 9%. But then, you know, Monday morning or Sunday night, it all depends on where you are in the world. So things went just way it normally does when Sunday turns into Monday. This all happens once the weekly candle closes on Sunday, right? And we have another weekly candle, close above 106,000. And this is key, because Bitcoin is once again getting close to the last big weekly resistance level. If it breaks through that, it might reach new all-time highs. As you can see, these are the weekly candles. We haven't been able to get above $1.80,000 yet. And if that happens next week, it may be another step up or another leg up. And, of course, that will have an effect on the rest of the crypto market. At the moment, the crypto market is very much following Bitcoin's lead. What I mean is that if Bitcoin goes up a tiny bit, altcoins will suddenly go up a lot. But when Bitcoin goes down a little, you can see that altcoins go down a lot. And for XRP, I don't see any news that could move XRP right now. For instance, Ripple may say something, but I'm only talking about one XRP transfer. There is no news like, Judge Torres said XRP is not a security. Is that right? 100% pop that day. I don't see or expect a catalyst right now. The XRPETFs are the only ones that might be approved. That's the one and only. And if that happens, or if there's news about a BlackRock XRPETF that has been filed, those are the kinds of things that we are waiting to see whether they happen. Besides that, I might have forgotten something. Please tell me in the comments. You know, I only got 4 or 5 hours of sleep last night. I went to my son's kindergarten end-of-the-year function because he begged me to. And that was in the morning at 8:30. And I don't know whether you know this, but I'm generally up till 3 or 4 in the morning. I'm not getting much sleep, but we got used to it following the 12-day fight. Is that right? If my brain isn't working right now, please let me know in the comments what else could be a spark. The only thing I can think of right now is the SEC litigation over the ETF. A Ripple acquisition would be more Ripple-related, though. It might change the price of XRP. So, the Ripple acquisition, a Ripple IPO, or ETFs might all be things that could make XRP go up on their own. Is that right? If the market is going up, XRP will probably go up with it. XRP will go up with Bitcoin if it does. And then it all relies on how much money is coming into that asset, how many people are selling it, or if there is a short squeeze on the asset, and so on. That's why meme coins tend to shoot up quickly. There's a lot of potential short on them since they go down quickly. So they short them, and then when they go up a little bit, they suddenly pop 10. But they also go down 10% the next day. You need to be very careful with memes and other things like that, okay? The market is free right now. The stock market did open up in the green, so we'll have to wait and see how it goes for the rest of the day and week and how it might affect the crypto market. You can see that Bitcoin and XRP moved a little bit once the pre-market opened. That's because the connection between the two has become stronger and stronger. XRP keeps falling into this large pennant here, and there could be a breakout on the daily chart. If we can close above that trend line, it could be an indication that the market is going up again. XRP hasn't been able to close above there on the daily chart. So, these are the things I'm looking at right now. This might be a trigger that makes algos, day traders, and swing traders look at XRP's potential here. And then they might come in for a swing trade. They could drive XRP in that direction, and it's something we need to be careful about too. Pay attention now. I don't know what's going to happen. That's why I'll never tell you to purchase, sell, or hold. This is not financial advice, of course, so you should do your own research before you invest. There are some folks, like Alex, who are very positive in the near term. He notes that previous out-season, people assumed alts were dead too. In reality, most of them had quit crypto. That's why the prices dropped so low that you could make 20 to 30 times your money. When alts are not popular and people don't pay attention to them, they make the most money. You're already too late when it's popular. Don't go along with what everyone else is doing. Bitcoin's dominance is still fairly high, although it did go down a little last night. Bitcoin is still in charge of me because it's still around 65 or more. Altcoins are still relatively weak, which gives altcoins hope that they might be able to make huge moves in the future. And there is something else we need to think about. It may happen. It might not. The first quarter of the year, or the first 2 quarters of the year, have been quite strong, with prices going up. It seems like 2025 is the start of a bull market. Bitcoin and Ethereum just experienced their best second quarter in 5 years. Bitcoin is up 31%. Ethereum is up 37%. Of course, this happened because the first quarter wasn't very good. Ethereum fell by 45%, and Bitcoin fell by 11%. And now we're getting 31% returns because of the tariffs and the uncertainty surrounding it. But when you think about that and look at it, you say, okay, wow. Bitcoin and Ethereum had a wonderful quarter. You need to think about it. You can see this graph and this table clearly. It looks really lovely. But if you know why it fell in the first quarter and how it got better after that, it changes the tale a bit. That's why we need to be careful and think about this again. Also, keep in mind that I will never urge you to sign up for anything or send me money.